Here are the best choices of Chapter 8 on the Hunt of Medieval Fantasy Rogue's Choice. This was the correct choice. There were two choices, both would give us the same amount of stuff, so I will go with Go Find Kriya, or you could go with Go Scout the Barracks, doesn't really matter, so let's just go with what we initially did. So in this one we did the one that gave us morale. If we did the maybe tomorrow when I have the coin, then that's not the good one. I went with Shake Your Head and Hurry On, which I would say is the good one and did give us morale, but we'll go with this one. Ask how much just for the ride, when that lady was shaking her leg, which I'm guessing is some sort of trap. Asked how much just for the ride. How much for only the ride, you ask? The bartender shakes his head. I don't recommend the ride without the drink first, he says in a sad tone. You haven't seen her face yet. He tilts his head up in laughter, yet keeps his eyes on you. Agra joins the bartender's laughter in your mind. Listen to the holy monk, drink first. You pause near the stand. The other men are now looking over you carefully. Bonebar turns back to you with a sigh. We have business to attend to. One of the men stares pointedly at Bonebrow's flail, as though silently asking what manner of business. You shrug apologetically at the bartender. Business before pleasure. So you then hurry after Bonebrow. No more of that nonsense, whispers Bonebrow when you're out of earshot. I was merely attempting to blend in, you say. There's no blending in this area, he says in a hiss. They know you're an outsider. No doubt they meant to rob you. We'll be lucky to leave this place without drawing blood. I have no coin anyway, you mutter. You clamp your fingers tightly around the steel mace that you took from the Thog minion. This was the correct option. I went with I'm a slave of Thog, which confused them. Otherwise, we can also go with I am a Sir Slay-a-lot, a Knight of the Dukes, which would give us more favor, but it will also take away 2 life, which I cannot afford, because this one I actually did not boost my stats when I was playing originally through my normal playthrough. So yeah, I'm gonna be saying the same thing I did last time. I say I'm a slave of Thog. So I think so, at least this is the correct option, because in this one we did lose 4 life. I did sneak up, which does lose us life, but it gives 1 morale. But in the other choices, if we go, we will also lose favor and we will lose life, in which case I don't think that's good, so I'd rather not do those. Let me recheck them actually. I suppose the best one, actually, now that I've reconsidered all of them, would be command spell. It will lose us 2 favor, but that's fine, I think. I don't think I need that much favor anyway, but we will boost our favor if need be. Highly doubt it, considering I have 8 favor. I'd rather save my favor, to be honest with you, but yeah, I think I'm gonna spend some. I'd rather not take a hit. I feel like this one just if I do sneak up and lose 4 life, I think it just ends up me losing a lot of yeah, that's difficult, man. What do I favor more? Should I lose 4 life or should I lose 2 favor? I don't think life resets. So as far as I know, I think I should conserve my life with this one. I do need 4 favor at the end of this chapter, but that should be fine considering I have 8. I did save up a lot in the last chapter. That should be fine. So we're gonna go with a different one this time. We're gonna go with the command spell. Not wanting to waste another moment, you rush forward. Can you guess what we're gonna do? Guess what we're gonna do to you, comes a voice from the alley. The guard turns to you, his eyes widen. You decide to keep your command simple. A few options occur to you. What command do you use? I still don't know how he got the drop on me. How did he sense me behind him? I still don't know. I think the best option here would be fall, which is it just works, I guess. Let's do fall. Fall, you shout. Your ears ring and the guard's legs collapse from under him. He holds out his spear, but you have the advantage. You knock the spear away with one swing of your mace that bring your weapon down on his head with a meaty crunch. I don't know why we go for an overhead swing. If we are doing, if we're swinging from the right to swing, remove his spear from the way, I think instead of an overhead, we should just smack him right in his jaw or in his cheekbone. I think that would do less damage technically, but that would keep up the momentum, henceforth more damage. But sure, I mean, you do you, it just works, I guess. Bring your weapon down on his head with a meaty crunch. You hurry towards the screaming. Okay, that works. This time we went with a decent choice. We got morale 1 from a follower of the Ohur the Trickster God, but we're gonna go with the agent of House Ruda here. Let's see how that goes down. morale increases too. She's not a woman at all. She's a puppet without strings, you think. You certainly remember the wooden puppets in the puppet maker's shop. That's why earlier she seemed familiar yet made you uneasy, which I don't like. I mean, I like the fact that they pulled back down. I mean, I just didn't remember that small of a detail would come back to bite me in the ass, which I do appreciate the author for in that sense, considering there's not much to appreciate in this chapter. Everything in this chapter has just managed to piss me off. And I checked, I think there's 20 chapters or so, and holy shit, as my head is going to explode by the time he reached 20th chapter, because like, oof, the first story didn't go that in depth into shit, and it managed to piss me off far less than this is, but we'll see how it goes. This was the correct option, attempt to climb onto the roof. This was the wrong choice, which I did, which was stay still, but I then died and then came back to try to move towards nothingness, which is the correct option. In this option, actually, I can get a favor if I did puff up your chest and stand proudly, but I do remember that Egra has a spell which makes like our cock small or something like that, is just to make fun of us, which I'm not gonna do because you know, while I am planning to kill Kriya, but yeah, I rather not embarrass myself any further more than this chapter already has. So I'm gonna lose the favor, even if I don't get the top ranking. I don't really mind, but yeah, that's not for me, dog. I'm gonna go with request a blanket to wrap yourself in, which I did last time. Apparently the second one is the correct one. What is this? I thought that if she transformed, won't Bonebrow be free? That's the one I picked, but apparently you are the one making this complicated. Why? Which is interesting. You're the one making this complicated. You say, pointing at Kriya. Why? Her lips twist and her eyes flash. All matters concerning magic and divine power are complicated. A complication to be sorted by someone else, you say. Someone who is better equipped and has authority to hunt down these interlopers. Who can we trust? Kriya throws up her hands. Please, you sneer. You are overthinking this and you're being paranoid. Either that or let your sentence die off. Or she has another motive, says Egra. You're on to her. Kriya shakes her head. Just a little thought before we move on to the next segment. Yeah, Kriya is very weird. I still am not sure what her species is. Like, obviously she looks human, and they might have mentioned at some point that she's half elf or something. I don't really care, but yeah, for some reason there's something about her that just rubs me the wrong way. Well, considering the fact that she's an absolute bitch and she's always fucking with us, but there's something else about her that just really rubs me the wrong way. On top of that, she is like really obsessed with dark elves for some fucking reason. So yeah, well, whatever the reason might be, I will definitely kill her if possible. So I'm gonna tell her to send her rat as a scout first, because that will give me an extra morale. The choices will remain the same, but I will just get an extra morale, so I'll do that. You pointed Kriya's knapsack. The streets are not entirely safe for me. It would be wise to send Horse to scout out where Bonebrow is. Kriya turns her body, swinging her knapsack away from you. She shakes her head. He can be instructed to find the captain, I presume. He's a clever rat, you say. Of course, Kriya says, her posture now rigid. He's brilliant. Well, put him to use, you say. You let a grin spread over your face. Besides, he could use the exercise. I presume that once he has found Bonebrow, he can report back to you in some language of vermin. Kriya looks out the window, puts a hand over her knapsack as though to shield it. It is daylight. Would you have him slain? Oh, that's right, you say casually. Not everyone is as fond of rats as you and I are. And then there is the issue of such a plump rat waddling the streets among the hungry families of the he's not going, says Kriya. Yeah, that would kill him and eat him, definitely. Cutting you off. Step towards her and put your hands up soothingly. Enjoying her discomfort. I'm merely trying to be practical. So you would rather I risk my life? Am I worth less than the rat? She takes another step from you, her jaw clenched. She doesn't answer. You want my aid, indeed you bewitch me for it, yet you do not take any measures to ensure my welfare. You shake your head slowly, acting out your disappointment. I will ensure your protection, stammers Kriya. Just leave Hawes out of harm's way. He is still new as my familiar. She makes false promises, says Egra. Make her squirm more. For the sake of expediency, you ignore Egra's request. Instead, you put up your hand and tilt your chin up. Tilt my own chin up with my own hand? That's weird. Very well, Hawes may remain tucked away for now, but I expect you to be more amenable to my reasonable request in the future. That is, if you think of us as a team. We are a team, assures Kriya as the tension drains out of her shoulders. She turns to go. What do we do now? So this was the correct choice. We are going to get a disguise first. So while I am still not very keen on this, I am already very behind on points, and this one is not that bad. So I'm gonna ask Kriya for an illusion. I'm gonna immediately go back if she gives me shit over this. Absolutely. Like, if she even says one thing, I'm backing out. Using one luck, backing out. Let's see if she gives me shit. Kriya, you call. The wizard has just tucked, what? The wizard has just tucked her familiar away in her knapsack. She looks up at you. As you recall from my story, I've made a few extra enemies last night. I think a disguise would help. Yeah, we already read all this. No, I do not mean a mundane disguise. I propose you weave illusion over the two of us. She folds her hands. What makes you think I'm an illusionist? Whenever I ever cast an illusion, her tone is tense. You raise your eyebrows in mock surprise. Oh, well, I thought since you call yourself a wizard, what is that a simple illusion would be within your power. Yes, humble her, humiliate her, says Egro, satisfaction in a voice. Cast an illusion yourself, Priya, lips curl up slightly, almost a snarl. You have done this before with your potions. Oh yes, I suppose I could, you say with a sigh. Perhaps you are true drained from bewitching me earlier. As I recall, it wasn't me who was drained, she says quietly. Egro startles you with a... that was a good one though. Egro startles you with a loud laugh. Priya motions at you impatiently. By all means, show me your magic, as she clenches a jaw as she shifts her weight to one leg. Okay, that was fun. That was fun. We did piss her off a little bit, though, you know. This one doesn't really come back to hit us too hard. It wasn't me who was drained. That was not that bad, but yeah. Still, I am holding a grudge. I will keep saying that she is going to die. If the author allows me even a chance to continue the story without her, she is dying. I can tell you that much. Everyone is dying, and everyone at this point except for Bonebrow, I would happily kill if need be. Even Egra. Like, holy shit, everyone except for Bonebrow is fucking dead if need be. If the game allows me, obviously, and I highly doubt they will allow me to kill anyone. This was the correct option. We went with eagles, which give us morale. This is a nice one. This is a nice one. So I went with no, I don't even know how they look, which would give us favor. But this one actually gives us morale and favor. So we're gonna go with this one. No, this is obviously just a fantasy of yours, which is because she's insane. Like, she's turned out to be far more insane than you can imagine. Like, in these stories, I have noticed that the morale meter is no longer a thing of like reason. There's no need to have morale. Like in the earlier games, when you had a demon, you had to have over 0 morale. If your morale hits 0, you would instantly die. But in this one, it's more like morale just gives you points. On top of that, it also just gives me some fucking you know, something to hold on to, considering my mind cannot take all the bullshit this story is throwing at us. But regardless, no, this is obviously just a fantasy of yours. Ha! Respected as spellcasters, you say, you exclaim, pointed at Kriya triumphantly. You do not offer me wise counsel, you simply want to use me to fulfill a fantasy of yours. Kriya twists her lips. Fantasy or not, I will play the part well. I'm a wizard, remember. Well, it seems to me like the opposite of blending in, you say, shaking your head. And I've never seen a dark elf, so I doubt I can transform us into them. Okay, yeah, this is the same thing after that. And here's the last choice of the chapter. This is the correct option that we took. Then let us stop skulking about and join the party, because Egra likes that. Will give us 2 favor. We are back to 6, and we check the stats. And we somehow managed to actually get required amount. We actually got over 30. Last time I think the score was like 650 and we got like 657 or something. This time, much better. We got 30 points over, and we got the Fearless Cunning Rogue. I would have been happy if I would have gotten Cunning Rogue, as long as I can fuck with Kriya. From this point on, we on my strike list here are the names. First of all, on top of the pecking order is Kriya. Then there's Ironova. Then there's Egra. Then there, I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm not that mad at Oher, so I'm gonna leave Oher out of it. Egra might actually save herself, considering she's been very helpful. Kriya, I will definitely kill. Under that, as I said, Ironova, and underneath that, we'll deal with House Ruda here. I'm gonna leave a House Ruda here with Oher, that is neutral, because we just owe them money. So essentially that is that. So it's just a transaction, nothing to get mad about. I don't actually know what we owe them money for. We just know our sister is with them. I don't remember exactly what happened with our sisters with them. It's like our sister is locked up by them for some reason, and we have to pay money to get her out, or she will be betrothed or something like that. I don't quite remember. It's been a while since I played the first chapter. Regardless, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna move on to the next fucking chapter and see if my head explodes or not.